Disconnected for Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. An MRI on the injured shoulder of the signal caller revealed that he has a dislocated left shoulder with a slight labrum tear, but he does not need surgery and that he should be back sooner rather than later. Trubisky will travel with the team to London for its game against the Raiders, but is unlikely to play. With that being said, let's take a moment now. Look at the NFC North standings. The Packers and Bears are now tied at 3-1 atop the division, followed by the 2-1-1 Lions and the 2-2 Vikings. Dan Orlovsky with us now. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Max.
Yes.
Who should be the favorites in the NFC North now?
Not the Green Bay Packers. Look, if I have to pick, I'll take Detroit because I think top to bottom, they're the best team. Mm-hmm. The Bears have a special defense. Now, neither one do I like as a Super Bowl contender, really, because I don't believe in their quarterbacks. But the one team that has a quarterback, the Green Bay Packers, I really don't believe in the rest of the team. I think that they were exposed versus the Eagles in two respects. What did I say about Tomlin? Run the ball, stop the run.
Yeah.
I don't care how much the game has changed. You got to win at the line of scrimmage, got to be able to run the ball, got to stop the run. And I thought the Packers guys were exposed as a team that has problems stopping the run and on offense, problems running the ball. And so what you see from the Packers is a glorified version of what we're used to. Like, oh, no, now it's different. Rodgers has weapons. Not really. He has a pretty good receiving core. Some guys, like, but no real stars. And on defense, oh, this is a different defense. The Packers defense, not if they can't stop the run. So I see more of the same from the Packers. Rodgers going to have to be perfect to do anything. And the other two teams I don't believe in because of the quarterbacks, but at least top to bottom, especially when I look at Detroit, I see a more complete team.
Well, first of all, I don't blame you for saying that about Detroit. I was impressed with what I've seen from them thus far this season. I think Matt Patricia's doing a good job. I think that they're coming along nicely. We'll see what they have, and I'm still not sold. I'm not a believer because, again, all of these years, they've never won a playoff game with Matthew Stafford as their quarterback. I'm still going to go with the Green Bay Packers, and I'm going to go with them by default. I'm going to go with them because their defense, as horrible as they've looked recently, or at least last week against the run per se, what I would say to you is that the defense is still vastly improved compared to what it was in years past. So ultimately what we're doing is we're coming back to Aaron Rodgers, that bad brother. I don't give a damn what nobody say. If you think for 1 second that him completing 62.3% of his passes, all right, 6 touchdowns, just 1 interception, a QBR 56. If you think for 1 second that that's going to last with Aaron Rodgers, that's blasphemous, okay? He does not deserve that the greatness of Aaron Rodgers demands. It's not a request. It's a demand. It demands the benefit of the doubt. He's Aaron freaking Rodgers. He'll figure it out, okay? It's 4 games into the season. You got 3 quarters of the season to go. And by the way, what is this competition? A franchise in the Detroit Lions that have been allergic to, let me finish, that have been allergic to prosperity. You got a Chicago Bears defense that's all world. Last time I checked, Aaron Rodgers already beat them this year, okay, because they start open the season, beating Minnesota and Chicago to start the season. Chicago's defense, all world, no question about it. Offensively, damn it, I don't give a damn that Trubisky was hurt. When he played, he looked hurt half the time, for crying out loud. I ain't sold on Trubisky. And then you got the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, which Minnesota Vikings are we talking about? As good as they are defensively, they ain't the defense that they were 2 years ago. Number 2, even though Dalvin Cook, they're a different beast when he's on the field because this is a bad brother. Make no mistake about it. They still got Kirk Cousins. You got receivers like Thielen talking about we gotta pass the ball. We got to figure out a way to pass the ball. Can't just rely on a run. Can't think that the running game is going to be up there giving us 150 yards a night every Sunday. Whether you've got a wide receiver who needs the quarterback to throw him the football in order to be effective, calling out the damn offensive passing game.
They won't be running the ball 150 yards if they know the quarterback can't throw down the field.
And all I'm saying to you, so by default, because of Cousins, question marks about Cousins, question marks about Trubisky, question marks about Detroit's offense altogether, I'm looking at it from the standpoint, I'm rolling with Green Bay because you're asking me to bet against Aaron Rodgers. For that in the NFC North? Hell no.
All right,
I'm rolling with Aaron Rodgers.
Because I watched that Lions game very closely. A lot of lead changes
this is a difficult question because that's a really good. This is the best division of football right now, right?
Yeah.
It is.
But there's also the reality that this is how much a singular play or two can change the narrative of a football team. Because the Lions are 2 plays away because the tie in Arizona and the 4th and 8 conversion by Patrick Mahomes from being a 4-0 football team. And the narrative around them being completely different. If I had to take one team right now, it would be the Detroit Lions. Let's look at it, because football, in many ways, you get 53 guys. It's a question of who's got the most talented football team. Guys, the Lions have the most talented football team top to bottom in that division. If you look at an offense that is more complete at skill players, they've got Galladay, they've got Marvin Jones, and they've got Hawkinson. No one else in the division could put those 3 guys up against. Green Bay's got Devontae Adams, who's a great player, hurt right now, but that's all they have. And Chicago has a couple nice pieces, but not as complete as those
Minnesota, but they don't have a guy throwing to them.
Correct. Not the guy that's throwing to him. Then they add in Kerryon Johnson. You know what Matthew Stafford has this year that he's never had? A run game. He's never had the run game that he's had. I would say that the Lions have the best offensive line, one of the best in football right now, and certainly did the best in the division. Who's got the best secondary right now in the division? The Detroit Lions. Who's got one of the best pass rushes in that division? Well, Chicago and Green Bay, but that Lions pass rush is just as good. You use the phrase complete football team, because the Packers and Bears aren't complete right now.
But
they're so dependent.
What I was going to ask is, that's why the Lions, top to bottom, are the most complete team.
Football team.
And that includes the quarterback position. Like Kirk Cousins, you have certain questions about, or answers that that Stafford you feel better about. But what about the fact that at least Green Bay is very special in a key area, quarterback? At least the Bears, you can say in a certain area, are elite. Identity they can hang their hat on this defense. It's ferocious.
Because my challenge to that would be, at some point, those guys are not going to be at their best. At some point, the Bears are going to have a bad game, and they're going to have to turn to their offense and go, you got to bail us out. And right now, they haven't done it this year. At some point, Rodgers, and I would say that the strength of the Packers this year, even a quarter in, has been that defense. So,
well, allow me to come back at you. First of all, you're talking about the stout Lions defense.
Correct.
What do they rank against the pass? Like 23rd?
No, they're the number 1 ranked secondary in football.
Excuse me, I'm looking
at number 1 ranked secondary in football.
I'm looking at this right now. We're talking about the Detroit Lions. Am I correct?
Correct.
I want to make sure I'm not. I'm
Don't look
reading
at pass yards per game, because that's a skewed stat.
Okay, all right. They're ranked. They're the 20th ranked defense. They're 26th against the pass. They're 23rd against the rush. But fair enough, okay? I'm going to come to you with this. I recall them having a lead against the Arizona Cardinals, and a rookie.
Right.
A rookie
got hot.
He got hot. Oh, he got hot. That's your explanation for a rookie playing his first NFL game. He got hot.
What's your explanation for the Packers offense?
Excuse me. A rookie head coach and Aaron Rodgers trying to figure it out.
A rookie head coach.
Excuse me. That doesn't matter.
A rookie getting hot doesn't matter.
Excuse me. Hell yes, it matters. Stop it.
Got hot.
Stop it. You should be ashamed of yourself. Really, you're gonna make the argument. You're gonna come to the defense of the Detroit Lions defense going up against a rookie in his first NFL game.
He made 3 big-time throws.
That's right. Really big time. That's what we're going with. Excuse me. Those 3 big-time throws do matter. I understand that he's Patrick Mahomes, and I get all of that. But they did have a lead that they could not hold, okay? So let's take that into consideration. There's a reason they're in this position right now. All I'm saying to you is this. When I look at the Green Bay Packers, remember the key word I said is default. By default, because you're asking me to have faith in the division. I understand talent-wise. I understand that the Lions have some players.
I was going to say, it's a great question, Molly. I was going to say, find me the glaring flaw of the Lions right now, because I can find a glaring flaw in the Packers and the Bears.
They usually don't have a glaring flaw at the beginning of a season.
Here's Green Bay, where I would agree with Stephen A. If Green Bay had a running game, a running back that you could hang your hat on, I would be with you.
Correct.
Because look what happened to Stafford. It's amazing. It happened to John Elway. When the quarterback who you're not sure gets a running back, all of a sudden, oh, wow, he's great. If Aaron Rodgers, one of these years, gets a real elite back, it's over. That's not the case.
I'm with you, Dan.
And I'd rather have the pieces that have to prove it to me than going, Oh, we've been there, but not with these
Let's
pieces.
just put the break and not act like Kerryon Johnson's averaging 3.4 yards a carry. He's a workhorse, but it's not like he's blowing it out. Come on now.
But they've
he's
never
had a great game they can rely on him. He had a costly
impactful run
fumble
game.
as well. All right.
They do.
LeBron makes some strong comments about AD's role on the new look Lakers. You'll hear what the King says when First Take continues. Time to talk a little NBA. Everybody stick around.
Troy line, but we're
Making them talk. Making them talk.